had this dream to go to Australia, and we wanted to immerse ourselves into the Aboriginal culture and infuse all that beautiful spirit into a record. Through believing in what we were doing and the power of our community, it manifested. A few weeks before we left for Australia, I had found out that a dear friend of mine, Jungle, had taken his life. He was somebody that you just always wanted to be around. He always carried a really light energy about himself, and he was also a very integral part in my exploration of the didgeridoo early on in my career.
And to the east where the sun will rise, you bring the messages of hope to our eyes. And if darkness...
So I was going through that processing on my own, and then a week later, at this gathering, I met a woman who was very interested in our journey to Australia and was very interested in the didgeridoo as well. She began to disclose that her son Eli had recently taken his life and that he was a didgeridoo player as well. So we had this really powerful connection because of this healing process that we were both going through. And she then let me know that prior to Eli's passing, that he had planned and purchased tickets to travel to Australia. With tears in her eyes, she'd asked if I would carry her son Eli's ashes to Australia and let them go there. Of course, I couldn't say no to that request, so I agreed and had asked her if she had a particular place that she would like to let Eli go. She looked at me and said that we would know when the time was right. This particular tour was extra special because it was our first international tour, as well as being with my family while we were on the road, which is not something that we always get to do.
Well, sun shining down, I feel it all around. She's breaking through the trees and moving gracefully.
2 weeks into our tour, while we were playing on a beach, my son fell and broke his leg. I remember, through all the panic that was happening in that moment, having this calming feeling wash over me, telling me that there was a reason for what had just happened. Towards the end of our tour, we had received an invitation to go and sit in with the Galpu clan of Northeast Arnhem land and meet with didgeridoo master crafter and elder of the Galpu, Nalu. Nalu's been an iconic figure for many decades for the Aboriginal culture around the globe, and to have received this invitation towards the end of our tour was extremely exciting. When we arrived there, we had been informed that a 15-year-old girl had just taken her life the day before we arrived, and we were asked to come back the following day. Here we are in the Northern Territory, and we have these ashes. And what I kept feeling in these moments was there was no coincidence that we were where we were and doing what we were doing. So we arrived back the next day, and they invited us down to one of their local beaches. Later on that day, Nalu had asked if it would be okay to perform a healing on my son's leg. Our first meeting was turning into something very spiritual. I felt like the time was right to ask if it was okay that we let Eli's ashes go. Nalu had a quick dialogue with the clan, and then he came back and let us know that they would perform ceremony and we would release the ashes the following day.
I walk to the water, I walk to the sea, carrying the ashes born to me. With the river of life I'm now holding these hands, a road to return to the sand.
These ashes were symbolic of everything that was going on. It was my dear friend Jungle. It was Eli. It was this 15-year-old girl who had just passed before we showed up in the Northern Territory.
Well, I carry your heart, I carry it inside, with honor for your spirit and the light you guide. A warrior of peace, you have come and you've gone. I hold you close now, now journey on.
And these ashes were really just a symbol of how we're all woven together into this powerful existence. And then I let him go. I don't know why I was chosen to be that vessel, but I don't want to question it. I just want to honor it, and to be able to carry that wisdom that was gifted to us back to put into our record is extremely sacred. And it has blessed our album in a big way.
One, yeah, to walk the red road. Your story of truth is all that is known.
It's been an incredibly inspirational journey, and my family and I hold deep gratitude for what was gifted to us. It went far beyond any expectation that we ever had. We want to say thank you so much to everybody who's been a part of manifesting this dream with us and helping to make it a reality.
If ever there's a time you can't go on, and grayness seeps through the cracks to darken your dawn,